Did I say it?
Over 850,000 people and vehicles are stopped and searched every year. Under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, 1984, officers have the right to stop and search any vehicle if they have suspicions. Tonight being no exception, in Kent, PC's Carl Rimmer and Dan Bowley are about to pull over their first suspect.
Yeah, I've just seen a red 4x4.
It's just up here.
He looked familiar to me. Just want to make sure that he's got documents on him.
The driver stops almost straight away. Carl begins the procedure with a nice bit of small talk.
Hello, sir.
What's up?
Oh, how you doing?
What's up?
Everything all right? Are you on your way to anywhere special? Fishing?
Oh,
you've just come back from fishing, have you? Catch anything?
Yeah.
Did you?
Full cod.
It all seems pretty routine until Carl spots something behind the passenger seat.
I can see a...
That's a spare rifle.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a rifle.
Okay. Just going to get it out and have a look at it, okay?
It's not a very good one either.
Is it not? If you don't touch it for me, I'll grab it, thank you. Why have you got this?
Because I'm a forestry contractor.
Sorry?
I'm a forestry contractor, that's my job.
Right.
Hence all the mud over the thing.
Okay.
Part of my job is controlling squirrels.
When did you last use it?
Yesterday.
Why is it still in the car?
I've got to take it out.
Okay. Then you're not going to use it now. Have you got a case for it?
I'm going home. No, I haven't got a case for it. I'll put it down here, in here.
The man's reason for having an air rifle in his van may seem legitimate, but not according to the police.
It is an offence to carry this around with you, especially if it's not in a case and you're not going somewhere to use it. You're not going...
It's in my work vehicle, isn't it?
Isn't your best... Can you put the handbrake on?
Yeah, but you can see our problem with it, can't you? Yeah. No, of course. If you step on the pavement, what you don't think driving around with an air rifle on your passenger seat? It's like if you stick there.
Still not quite understanding what the fuss is about, the man pleads his case.
I can't see anything wrong with it. Carrying an air gun. I'm also carrying a load of fishing tackle. Yeah. Right. I think we'll go around in circles. You don't need a certificate for an air rifle. I know that. Right. I'm not carrying it in a public place. What's the problem? Well, we're in a public place at the moment, aren't we? From fishing, look. Well, it's not like I'm going to go and shoot someone with it, is it? But we don't know that, do we? Well, it's an offence if you want to use it as an offensive weapon. I don't want to use it. I want to shoot squirrels. But we don't know that until we speak to you, do we? We don't have this amazing crystal ball that tells us that you're an A1 bloke. We don't have this amazing crystal ball. The sort of bloke that goes around shooting people with an air rifle, seriously. We don't know, do we? Until we speak to you. I'm telling you, I'm not. Can you see our point? Yeah. We'll just grab your details.
After convincing the man to come round to their way of thinking, they need to search him, just in case he's got anything else up his sleeve or trouser leg.
Just doing our job, sir. It's,
Carl, do you want to deal with him however you deal with him for the rifle, and I'll...
With the search done and dusted, PC Carl Rimmer gives the man some free legal advice.
The defence that you may have is the fact that maybe you're driving somewhere where you're going to use it, right, OK? Carrying it in a public place because you've got to take it out of your car is not a good enough excuse. That's what I'm telling you. So it doesn't really look like one...
It must be a bit worrying looking in the car and seeing a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see that.
It's not something I really want to see.
At least you can accept where we're coming from.
Just to make the message clear, PC Bowley paints a grim picture of the consequences of leaving his air rifle exposed.
What if someone were to see that in your vehicle, called the old Bill, and then all of a sudden, old Bill all over you? You're going to have firearms. You're going to have firearms officers training their guns on you, all because your laziness of not putting your gun into a case. Yeah?
I appreciate it's an air weapon, but it's very heavy, and initially I didn't think it was.
That was 3 weeks
So,
ago.
with the man now armed with new knowledge in the carrying of air rifles, he's sent on his way. In this instance, the man was simply stopped, searched and warned by the police. But it's a whole different story 500 miles north in Edinburgh.
At the moment we've got armed response vehicles who are going to what's called red status, which means they're arming in order to stop this person and just give them a search to see what they do with a firearm. So we've got 2 Alpha Victor units, 2 armed response units out and about, both going red at the moment.
The man thereafter has been spotted leaving a nightclub with a handgun. With no idea whether the gun is loaded and what the suspect intends to do with it, the police on the ground need to hang back until the firearms unit arrive.
It's a difficult one because we've got officers who aren't armed, who are sort of doing the observations. They can't get too close because if this guy does have a firearm and knows he's being followed, he could pull it out.
Before Sergeant Jason Gilkison arrives, he hears that the armed response unit has intercepted 2 suspects. One of them is thought to have the gun on him.
So he's down on the ground now.
With 3 Heckler & Koch submachine guns pointed at the lads, one sudden move from them could be fatal. One of the officers has bravely approached the suspects in order to conduct a search. Once the first suspect is handcuffed, the officer then carefully retrieves what looks to be a handgun. With the suspect still under the watchful eye of the firearms officers, the weapon is placed safely out of reach. With the area contained and the suspects under arrest, it's a successful operation for the night cops. On closer inspection, the weapon was in fact a pellet gun, but it's a close call for everyone involved as it looks dangerously real.
Obviously, if he'd been aggressive and pointed it at one of the armed officers, then that would have been a different outcome. There's a good chance that, he may have been seriously injured or killed.
The sentence for brandishing a firearm in public, be it a replica or real, holds a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 10 years in prison. It was a foolish act, and one that the police are all too familiar with.
When we say we have problems with imitation firearms, they're readily available. People can buy them in toy stores, but a lot of the time they don't think about how serious the consequences are of taking them out on a Friday or Saturday night,
So it's a job well done for the armed response unit. And as for these young lads, well, they're lucky to be in custody instead of 6 feet under. In Colwyn Bay, it's been a quiet shift for night cops Dave Williams and Kelly Hughes. But just as they think they're done for the evening, they get stopped by a local taxi driver who spotted a potentially lethal situation.
But they had toy tractors. Now, I've just phoned the bloke in the farm and he says that they're obviously from his place. He's just on the phone now reporting it.
Taxi drivers are an invaluable source of information for the night cops, and tonight their knowledge of the local area could prove vital in stopping a disaster.
Just got flagged down there by a local taxi driver. He's reported that about 5-10 minutes ago he saw a couple of lads coming over the fence with 2 small tractors that he believes were from the local farm. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go onto the promenade, the beach, have a quick look round to see if there's anything that's been abandoned there.
With the tractors potentially causing chaos, the officers waste no time in pursuit. And with time running out, they once again turn to the local to help them find their quarry.
The 2 lads with the tractors.
The taxi driver's information has proved invaluable as time finally runs out for Colwyn Bay's very own Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Look at them go.
Hey guys, stay there. What are you up to? Are they your tractors?
No.
No, where have you got them from?
The Davin farm, mate.
Have you got permission to take them?
No.
No. So you've only taken them without consent then?
Now, then? Where were you both going?
I'm going home.
Where's home?
You had a drink tonight?
Theft of any property, big or small, is taken seriously by the police, and so there's only one course of action for them to take.
So, at this time, you're both under arrest, suspicion of theft of the tractors, OK?
OK, do you want to get off the tractor for me,
sorry,
yeah?
They may have only been toys, but God knows what damage they could have caused. With the prospect of getting a criminal record, the bewildered lads are put into the back of the van. But fortunately for them, their luck's about to change.
How you doing, my friend? Who are you?
Do they belong to you, do you?
Yeah, they belong to the farm. All it is that we had a party up at the farm.
Right, OK.
So
do you know if these 2 lads were at the party?
Yes, they were.
They were?
Party, yes.
All right.
All they're doing is they were just having fun with the tractors.
Right, OK. Hi, guys. Have you been to a party at the farm tonight?
Yeah.
You have? Right, OK. We're going to speak to the farmer to see if there's any complaint about the tractors, but because you've probably been at a party, he might not make any complaint, and if he doesn't, then you'd be de-arrested and you'd be free to go. OK, but Obviously, you shouldn't have took the tractors, really, should you? All right. As soon as we sort it out, we'll let you know either way, OK? So if they sit here for a bit, OK, guys?
With freedom in sight, it's a nervous wait for our tractor rustlers as PC Dave Williams talks to the owner of the tractors.
Hello, it's the police speaking. Hiya, who's this? Hi. Yes, we have. There's a green one and a red one. Apparently, the two young lads have been to a party at the farm, so you've probably seen them about. And they're quite compliant, you know, they're apologetic, etc. You don't want to make a complaint, no? Do you want to just check the tractors and make sure you're happy there's nothing damage to them? No worries, mate.
Having been told the tractors are safe and in a good condition, the farmer decides not to press charges. The boys are sent on their way, but not without one final request from PC Kelly Hughes.
If you can use your legs, that would be much preferred this time.
Sorry, Mum.
Thank you.
So the lads are free to roam the streets once more. And the tractors' riding days aren't yet over. Even the police can see the funny side. Coming up next time, Margate police encounter a young lad who needs to learn his P's and Q's.
What's your name, bruv? What's your name, bruv? What's your fucking name, bruv?
The wheels come off this kid's hot rod antics.
So if you don't want your car to be seized, don't let your buffoon mates drive around in your car.
There's only one deterrent that'll stop this drunk.
Right, mate. Fucking answer with that.
And in Torquay, we meet one extremely lucky driver.
I could have killed someone tonight. Could have killed someone.
The Christmas rush produces plenty of